Well, here we are again. Hello, it is I, Dark and Edgy Combo-sama. Yeah, so, in the difference between the first video and the second video, there was a lot of farming. I got my vid up so I didn't have to fat roll when I was wearing now the forlorn chest piece with the Alma Nadar hood. So now I look like a nice, inky cloaked gutso. Very proud of my fashion here. And this is the third and semi-final region that comes along with going into the Shrine of Almana. So, to be honest, aside from the playthrough itself, as we kind of sit down and watch the fuckeries that go through, like, poor Felicia. Oh, look at her go. Oh, bye, Felicia. Gone. And old, like that joke I just told. As you can see, there's plenty good reason for all that badness to happen. So, I think what would be very fun is I just pulled up on my phone the For Extra Life Wikipedia, which is the community wiki for Souls games. And I may or may not be an old admin for the Dark Souls 3 wiki. I mean, I primarily just added updates and data tables for weapons and equipment for Dark Souls 3, specifically of the Ring City and the lore possibilities there, the implications. I kind of just bullshitted for a little bit there. But yeah, I used to edit this wiki from time to time. Now, I just want to read the various comments about this area. And then we'll kind of solidify our thoughts as we approach the boss area. From Anonymous on June 17th, 2020. So this year, about 11 days ago, about 12 days ago to the time of this recording. Anonymous says, absolute horseshit level design. Took me 20 deaths for saying fuck it and running through with a great shield. Worked on the second try. Just want to point out how slow, methodical gameplay can really piss people off. Like, look at this invader. Just casting for days, but because I'm using a shield that has higher elemental than physical resist, I'm just like, nah, stop it. Oh god, I forgot how tanky this one was. This guy would probably have killed me if I wasn't careful. Well, look at that little homing thing he cast at me. That's a good trade. I'll take that trade. So that anonymous fellow was quite upset. Still this year, because again, people are playing Dark Souls 2 a lot more than I thought. I was expecting this to be super hard, but with poison arrows, this area becomes a joke. I only had maybe less than 100, and I cleared the whole area. It takes time, but seriously, use arrows. They will save your ass. This post was made by the Poison Arrow game. Now, I will give you that. It is easy to do. Oh, hey, we saved another Milfinito. Oh god, they're all miners. I should stop saying that. Poison arrows make the entire game trivial unless you're fighting something that cannot be poisoned. So, Poison Arrow Gang, yeah, you've stumbled across the true ranged meta of this game, so good job, great for you. Well done, well done. Oh, that's right, we're already at the boss room. So, before we go in there, let me go ahead and read what the old, outdated Dark Souls 2 pre-scholar guide says. Even though that's not the version of the game we're playing, I like reading from it because of the bullshit postulations that you can pick up from when people try talking to From Software about their game. So, the Demon of Song's bio reads as such. A hideous, frog-like demon originally sealed within the Shrine of Almana. When the priestesses attending the shrine maintained the seal eventually died or went hollow, the demon was set free, luring unsuspecting humans into its lair by mimicking the songs of the Milfinito. And look at that damage. Jesus Christ, I forgot about Frogman being a bad time. So, the main gimmick of this boss fight is that its outer shell is utterly unapproachable, but the arms and the face of it are what take damage. So you've got to take some hits while you can and avoid the rest. To be honest, I should have just been smarter during this fight, but I was not all that smart at the time. So big, kablam, kablam, kapow. I mean, look at the damage it's taking. It's squishy. It's not that hard to fight, and it pops out all the time. It's like Vanilla Ice in Stardust Crusaders after everyone goes into Dio's mansion. Okay, so I want to say this post knows what it's trying to really say, but he's doing it in a very passive-aggressive manner. Allow me to read. June 4th, 2020, Anonymous posted, with the Great Spirit Tree Shield, or the Vessel Shield, this area was super easy. I actually like the look and atmosphere of the shrine. I never had trouble here. This also had a downvote attached to it, because he knew what he was saying. He could have literally ended his sentence right at, I like the look and atmosphere. He didn't need to add, well, I didn't have any problems. Because, you know, it's that nice little, like, inconsiderate tone that you get. It's the passive aggression of telling just a little too much, you know? Oh, yep. This area, like many others in the game, is actually made playable if you decide to utilize poison arrows. Had pretty much no problems with it at all. Because, once again, poison arrows are the true easy mode, and only heroes use them. So one like, one respect, everyone who discovered what poison arrows are. Good job! Good job, gang. Oh, and apparently the Dragon Rider goes away if you actually take care of a certain king whose name rhymes with Kendrick. Yeah, so kill Kendrick Lamar if you want to. Anonymous, March 2020. Every time I make it to this area, I'm reminded of why I despise Dark Souls 2. December 30th, 2019. Try tongue, butthole. I genuinely quit this game because of this godforsaken area, says another anonymous player in December of last year. Would personally sacrifice my firstborn child to permanently remove this area and all other water levels. Somebody did not like the Shrine of All Mana. Alright, this one's just a critique because for Extra Life's wiki formatting is actually pretty bad. Not a complaint, an observation. Kablam. Okay, here's another good one. Oh, poor Cyan Knight. He didn't realize that I knew where he was. Oop. Oh, that's right. I think, Yep, I can open that. Okay. So, this one's a long one. Fuck this place. The casters are fine, even though their projectiles seem to follow you to the ends of the earth, and they have way too long of a cast range. And the aqua hollows are fine, even though it's often quite hard to see them because of their shitty placement in the dark sections. The level being in water seems only to slow you down is fine, as is you can hardly see where the ledges are at the end without a torch, which you will extinguish nearly the next time you roll to avoid said aqua hollows or casters. Pyromancers, Dragon Rider, which oddly seems to be more difficult than the previous boss Dragon Riders, and Ogres are fine, though their placement seems to be done only in the most asshole-ish way possible. But why are all these things on the same level? There's a huge difference between being hard and fair, and from what I look at, it is annoyingly hard and unfair. Yeah, I know, get good, remember bragging rights. Oh, hi, Aldia. Let's switch gears. Hi, Aldia. Oh, you ride on for extra life as well? Yeah.
What drives you so to overcome the supposed curse?
Clicks mostly.
Life is beautiful. It is some are true to the purpose that they are fulfilled. Flesh and mind. One man lost his own body and but lingered on overhead.
Why do you gotta bring up Ven, Carl? The kings.
What is it that drives you? Once, the Lord of Life banished to Froggo and all that stemmed from humanity. And men assumed a fleeting form.
You seem to not like Gwen.
These are the roots of our world. Men are props in static life, and no matter how tender, how exquisite, a lie will remain a lie. Young Harlow, knowing this, do you still desire peace?
Yes.
Venric, the near true one, is here, and not far. But what is a kin? You, neither born with great wisdom grounded in by the fates. What is it you seek? You cannot even say yourself. You shall meet again, young Harlow.
Okay, we're done with the For Extra Life because now that we're out of that genuinely slow-paced area, all we have to do is get through the Undead Crypt and do some more digging. I didn't intend to do a double boss fight for this video, but given the way I was splicing together the footage, it just sort of happened. To be honest, I like this area. I like this area infinitely more than the last one, but that's not hard to do, but it has its own trials and tribulations attached to it. So first things first, parry the fuck out of these lads. Make them hurt real good. I think I got the parry window on this one a bit easier. No. Different verse, same as the first. Except this time I did much worse. Wow, that was a long rhyme now, wasn't it? I'ma touch your butt. Let's go ahead and read the description of the Undead Crypt. This expansive crypt lies below the Shrine of Almana and is a place of rest for the living. Overseen by Agadine and the other grave wardens, it is open to all visitors provided they show proper reverence. The crypt's custodians treat its every occupant with the same care and takes its security equally seriously among other things. Carrying torches or utilizing magical light sources in certain areas of the crypt is considered desecration and will incur the warden's swift retribution. Which is true, but specifically, the retribution you would undertake that you can't handle only happens right here. Well, not right here, but more or less the beginning section of this area, because you miss out on a merchant and an NPC conversation if you walk in there with a torch, or if you just run in there and there's a hollow with a torch that we killed at the beginning and we just allowed him to live, which I do not recommend doing much at all. Yeah, those casters are a bit quarrelsome, but once they're done and out of the way, everything else is just a bunch of hollows and a cakewalk. So kill them off as you can, do your best to recreate Berserk as I am trying to do on accident. If Guts was a caster for some reason, you know how it is. And as per usual, if you have a From Software bingo card, this has the token graveyard section / tomb level. This is what this counts for. Oh.
Human, do not produce light.
You want to try voice acting again, bud?
And all those who bear it are unwelcome in this place.
Unwelcome. And here are the Grave Wardens. This is where they should be, and not in a fucking poison windmill from Software. What are you doing? Are you trying to insinuate something? Or is it just random enemy placement? Who knows? Agdane.
Guardian of the crypt. Countless dead rest here in peace, cradled by the comfort of dark. I am a finito. We weave death and watch over the dead. This task was granted to me by the one who gave us the first death. Countless souls rest here, some of them from ages long ago. Some are rich, others poor, some wise, some dull, but now they're all just dead. Did you come for him? The one called Fenbrick. You will find him deeper inside. Many castle servants and the like have come to fetch their lord. But they rest here now, put to death by the king's own guards. Perhaps he is not in the mood for company. In the past, humans were one with the dark. The former king of light, he feared humans. Feared that they would usher in an age of dark. How queer you humans. How you go on, never separating truth from fiction. This place is welcome to all, provided due reverence is shown. Death is equitable, accepted. We will all one day be welcomed by her embrace. Tell me what you desire. Show me reverence, and I will lend you my hand.
Oh, I love that he has that emote.
I am a finito. This
And like that, we have all the conversation we need from Agadine. So, he's cool. He's got a weird fantasy muted blue skin color, silver hair, and a sort of fantasy centurion vibe to him. And in New Game Plus, he gives you basically a even cooler version of the Dragon Slayer sword from Berserk that does literally just dark damage. And now realizing it, I think I'm accidentally building myself towards using that sword exclusively. And I really want it, because it's fucking cool looking, and I've never used it before, because I don't think I've really played New Game Plus for Dark Souls 2 up to any particular worthy point of mention. Can I just hear the hollows while I'm in here? Oh, I can. Don't you dare! Don't you dare, says the notes. Not here! And what do? I go to my inventory, I look at how many flame butterflies I have. I'm like, I have a couple. Kablam! Hey look, here's a torch. Light this area, what happens, you might ask? That's easy. Invasions. You get random invaders whenever you light up a spot. Because no one wants to fucking deal with fire. Ah, there he is. There's our good friend. Hello? Yeah, he made it. Ah, that's how fighting, not Serpico. It's how fighting Serpico and Berserk went. Gus is like, damn it, not a wall, not again. And then he hit him. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. So many hollows, so little time. Quite something ahead. Probably nothing. Yeah, sorta kinda. The pyromancy seed is useful. Oh! A ghost. God, what a terrible enemy design. What are they called in the guide? Let's see. Okay, so those ghosts are called wall warriors, and that's probably my favorite. The ghosts of a former warrior which will phase through the walls of the undead crypt in certain spots to attack. Also in Castle Drenlaic, but I'm not going to mince words about it being in an earlier area, except it totally is. Who were these warriors, and how did they come to wander the halls of the crypt? Only the grave wardens know for certain, and their lips are sealed. Arbitrarily. Now, you may have noticed that I decided to go out of my way to smash up a particular piece of area artificing. And that's because, for some reason, the big gimmick of this area are those bells that you see. Whenever an enemy in the area, particularly the hollows and not the skeletons, they will try and draw forth these mages that are floating hoods by ringing bells. And when they ring bells, what that does, it activates these weird night shrines that summon those casters. So, easy way to remove that problem is to destroy them. You want to ring that bell without measure and just walk through an area without any care in the world? See if you can, and pick off those stone spots one by one. Now again, I am being vaguely carried by that big hulking piece of steel that's dark, glistening, and does fire damage. Because again, Black Knight weapons are pretty fucking good. I'm pretty sure I'm not using the most optimal one. That's somewhere between the axe and the halberd, I believe, because of the reach. But I like big sexy swords, so I can't be pressed. But yes, I recommend going through and destroying these things as much as you can. It'll make the repercussions of you going through and exploring the area for a little bit less than what it would be. And you'll be all the more comfortable for doing that. Now, we end up passing some Lydean creatures without really having a lot of knowledge of what they are, so I'm going to read them off. The first one I'm reading is for the ladies who are casting in here with their big hats and their interesting stabs that they hold like their Star Killer from the Force Unleashed. Witches who worship the goddess of disease, Galib. They once resided in the undead crypt alongside the Finito, but over time grew conceited, misusing their power to usurp the control of the crypt's gateway. Their actions spurred the grave wardens, and they were slaughtered as transgressors. Their spirits now forcibly served as guardians of the crypt. Oh, so while they were alive, they were with Finito, had a rebellion of sorts, and then they weren't. Also, I feel bad for this usurper. I fucked him up real good. That was not a fight, that was just me hitting R1 a bunch of times. Not a lot of work, that. Now, the other one is the Lydean Priomancer, which is the ones that you may have a bit more of a hard time with. They're the hooded fellows with no legs that have a small shield and arguably one of the best swords in the game. A ghostly spellcaster of the Lydean Pyromancers. Although Pyromancer in name, they were adept in a wide variety of magic, and in their conceit they once held occupied the undead crypt. Their brazen misuse of death drew the ire of the Finito, who branded them transgressors. The apostles were slaughtered and subsequently buried in the crypt alongside its other occupants, hence why their essence seems to be linked to those tombstones. And then we have these cool motherfuckers. I love taunting them like this, just in front of their doors, because I'm like, oh man, your gimmicks are so cool. These fellows are known as Imperious Knights. And they're supposed to be twin brothers just because of this section, even though you fight 3 of them throughout the level. And I really like them. They're my favorite. I'm glad Dark Souls 3 decided to bring back having big old dual-wielding shield boys as a weapon subset. That is neat upon neat upon neat to me. And their bio reads, long ago, a pair of foolish knights attempted to conquer the undead crypt. They each carried with them a great shield split into 2 halves, in which they used in lieu of weapons to reduce their enemies to paste. Their ill-advised crusade came to an abrupt and unsuccessful end. However, as punishment, they were denied a peaceful death and instead are put to work for eternity as guardians of the crypt. So, we also get 2 extra names depending on who you grab from their shields. There's 2 names, and it's for each side, the right and the left. I believe the left one is referred to as Orma. Orma's great shield is the left-handed one. And then there's Reeve's great shield, which is the right-handed one. And if you dual wield those, that's when you start getting the clap clap trap attack of having a good time here in the undead crypt. And I love them to death. You see, that's why we want to be careful. Don't do what I did just there. Sometimes you do have to take cover, and that's okay. Don't stand out in the open, turning your back to some spellcasters. You'll get fucked up. However, once you get through there, you do eventually lead to a switch, and to be honest, this area is much smaller than you anticipate. It's just a little bit more tricky. And the only thing tricky about it is, well, that section there, because if you let yourself get turned around, you will get smited. And then there's the area just before the boss room here. Now, what's important about this boss room is that down below, to the right, there are 3 hollows that will go and ring the bells, aggroing the enemies in the crypt to you. If you defeat them before they touch the bell, well, you solve the problem. The only thing is, you'll kill one, think you're good, and then you leave. Oh, what's that? Another hollow? Huh. And you kill another one. But there's 3 of them. 3. That one will hit the bell and aggro. But always try to do that if you can, and you'll have just a little bit less of a problem. Because now, if you've removed it, and since they won't respawn unless you go to a bonfire, when the bell's done, they'll only aggro if they see you. Line of sight aggro as opposed to artificial aggro is a little bit more friendly. Trust me on this. Also, I can't believe how badly this next boss fight did not age well. Because I kind of just walked in and went straight in. And we come across somebody that was in a D&D campaign, actually. I had him as an NPC. One of my dungeon masters used him for and made him a god of time. In Dark Souls, he's merely a cleric, one of the best, and yet another man in a suit of armor. He's just a bit more beefed up. Say hello to Valstat, the Royal Aegis. Pretty cool guy. I like his moveset since he's basically a big super cleric. He is a hollowed cleric who still remembers his mission and just follows through with it. The ultimate straight edgelord, if you ask me, because he's just doing what he's supposed to do. But his moveset, to be honest, did not age well. Just a lot of slow two-handed strikes. you level up your adaptability to at least 25 or 28, whichever one I have, and, you know, your iframes will just carry you. I mean, look, I've only had to whack him a couple times, and he's only roll catched me twice. Now, he's entering a buff state. Gotta let him do his thing there. Now, when he's in this phase, he's a bit more dangerous because he's faster now. He's a bit faster, and he has ranged attacks. He'll ring his bell hammer, and he'll shoot affinity projectiles quite well. But other than that, it's kind of a cake. And he's got a few extra swings that are interesting to his moveset, but again, it's nothing wild, and he does hit like a truck. That would have killed me under normal circumstances, but again, I'm wearing pretty good armor now. The thing is, when you see him ringing like this, wait for him to go and kneel, and then just go in. I wasn't doing too good on hits, but as the usual thing, when you see him swinging to one side, roll into the attack, typically, if you have high adaptability, and you'll beat it. But don't roll too early on that one, because you'll get fucked like I was just fucked, and I don't recommend it. He won't call back, I promise. But again, not a bad boss fight. Kind of simple. It has a similar feel of accomplishment as fighting Ornstein. I wouldn't call him the Ornstein of Smough of this fight because he has no Ornstein himself. He's just a modified Smough, I suppose. A beefier, more Paragon-like, less disgusting and dismembered. Just dude of armor who's pretty rad to fight from time to time. It has some arcs that are about 180 degrees. Glad he doesn't do a full 360, but yeah, he's a little bit easier to deal with in that way. I don't think I try blocking him very much. I'm not sure. I don't believe I do because I just have the shield out there for collecting valuables. I think I did end up casting at him only once, just to get him out of the way. I always wonder why the damage does that with Ricard's rapier. Because when you hit him with the flurry, the regular hits themselves seem to treat themselves as similar, like single attacks, not as a combo. Which is why you don't see the yellow bar when he hits even though he's taking damage. I'm not sure what creates that effect. But yeah, this is what it's like for me to fight Valstat. It's me making a few mistakes, giving him room to breathe, and then just kind of going, hey, projected me. I think I was actually having a conversation with Brandon at the time, and that may be my reason to call Johns on how well I was not doing for this late end. But again, one soul arrow just for the road, and Valstat the Royal Aegis is gone, but the thing that really fucked me up is as soon as he was gone, I got the extra souls, and these guys said, hey, I can come in here now. Fuck y'all. But first, let's take a minute and remove some of these fellows. So the Cyan Knight, he needs to go. I can always parry the sword ones. They're really easy to take down. Love Ricard's rapier. What a good sidearm for me. When you need to get up close and personal, but you need to not be slow. When you want to stab, but through a shield with a block on. Another Cyan Knight? Gee, you shouldn't have. Come on. Come on. Oh, not that one. Leave that be. Oh. Yeah, I must have been tired when I was playing because I should have got that parry. That's kind of shitty on my end. Eh, I got it. So, quick read for Valstat. I should have done this when we were in the boss room, but I fell asleep just talking about the fight. The entire duration of it drawing out for a little bit too long. Valstat's little block reads. a trusted knight who faithfully served King Vendrick in life. Valstet followed his lord when he set out for the undead crypt, and remained there to continue serving him in death. Valstet and a contingent of royal guards stand watch over Vendrick's chamber to this very day, inexplicably slaughtering any who enter in search of the king. Hence the Dragon Rider Knight again, and the 4 Cyan Knights. I like that they all brought little metal chests too, this way I could loot something after I killed them all. And look at that soul count. That'll maybe level me up 3 times, since I'm over-leveling like a son of a bitch. It's fantastic. Fantastic. But again, brief level, not too much to it, but something you can dig through a little bit more from time to time. What else do we have here? Oh, I didn't realize you could parry the regular strings and swings Valstet had. Interesting. But you can't parry his hammer thrust or his projectiles, but then again, those are unblockable, so good to know. And as you can see here, we have a naked, gigantic man in a crown with a giant sword. This is his armor, and with his armor is a ring. He gets his own special music cue, and with that, I should say, hello, reverent and revered King Vendrick. What's left of him since he has gone hollow. I do appreciate that in typical Soulsian fashion, for some reason, he is also ungodly tall for no real reason. However, I love his room that he's in right here. This is very clearly a boss room if I choose to attack him, which in my current state, I could not handle the fight very well. So we're gonna leave him be. But on top of the special music and everything, very beautiful. Oh, hi, Emerald Herald. What's up?
This ring is the symbol of the king. Use it to gain passage through the king's gate.
Not the field, just the king's gate.
Venture to the far east. Bearer of the curse. If you are to be the next monarch.
Monarch.
Then one day you will walk those grounds.
You walk those grounds.
Without really knowing why.
Without really knowing why. Oh no. Okay. So, soft Irish notwithstanding. No lilty-dilty here. I really like everything that surrounds Vendrick while he's down here. Very much recommended not fighting him. Do not do that. Don't do that. Why not, you say? Well, that's easy. Vendrick's main quirk to his fight is that you need at least 5 souls of giants to do regular damage to him. For every soul you don't have, he has a damage resistance multiplier on. I have only 1 soul of a giant on me right now, which means he takes 4 times less damage right here, right now. I do not recommend fighting him. Your weapons will break before he will be at half health. And it's a long, arduous, simplistic fight of don't get hit, because if you get hit, you're stun locked into a combo and you die.
Do not produce life.
But we will fight him. I need to kill him in order to get the ending that I want, but we're just not doing that right now.
You have met the king, have you?
Quite.
Life is never easy, never fair. even more so on this path you have chosen. May you find your peace one day. Take these with you. You may need them as proof of your visit here.
Is this the equivalent of buying merch at Disney World? You literally just gave me your shirt and your shoes. Does this mean I just, like, leave the Undead Crypt and I just have his shirt on and it's the equivalent of having it say, hey, I met King Vendrick, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. I'm not sure why I chose to fight my way out of here. I think I was just getting the extra experience of cutting my way back down. I think that's why I was doing this. All in all, the aesthetics of coming down here, and then just having that little section of the light breaking through the ceiling of the Undead Crypt over an endless, continuous sea of tombstones. That is a good image. That is very much concept art that was made flesh. It's one of those spots similar to Hyde's Tower of Flame, or the skyline that you see on the outskirts of Majula, the other areas you will traverse. That's nice. It's not iconic. It's not what I think of right away when I think Dark Souls 2. But when I'm in there, you just appreciate it. You enjoy the level because of the atmosphere it creates, especially with its stylized music. I also love that this, again, this Imperious Knight just went, and then you watch a door swivel 180 degrees to go, hey, did I fool you? No? Shit. Okay, I'ma smash you to putty paste, little man. And it does not work. Because I thought about you. You dumb stupid, why you standing there? I mean, what was this guy's... What is his plan? You're too slow, my bro. I'll read Vendrick's block when we get there. Now, it's worth noting that after this you do have to start doing more and more backtracking, and that is somewhat of the appeal, since now areas that were seemingly not accessible prior to getting the King's Ring are now accessible, and that leads to a little bit of fun. Yeah, get fucked, Cyan Knight. Hey buddy, you see what happened? Oh no! What will you do as I berserker for your chest? Oh, that's almost 100,000 souls. So I can level up about 3 times. That'll do. But yeah, nice little pound of flesh for this run here so far. Now, I do want to hear back from anyone who actually sits down and watches these. Do we like this? Is this fun? Is there anything I can do to spice this up a little bit more? Do you guys want me to add more more memes to this? Ooh, I remember this. This is me acknowledging the Snake Eater ladder, and then going up. You see, this is another thing. Again, you don't think about it with Dark Souls 2, but it follows into classic fantasy tropes just in a weird Japanese way. So tropey business number 286 is going up into a tower in a castle and saving a princess. Because that's something you do in Dark Souls 2. After you kill the Demon of Song, you get the fucking embedded key, which is a sword key you use to kill a pervert chained to a door. Why is he a sex pervert? Well, that's what the item description said that he was. This is his kink, being a door. Yeah, he really wants me to turn the lock, if you know what I mean. And I'm uncomfortable. That's why he's dead now. Get out of here, you evil thing. You're gross. Go. Get out. And then there's another Malfinito. Hey. Hi. Saved your life. Hi. Feeling better? Bye. And now you get a nice little thing. What was that ring again? Ah, Ring of the Dead. It keeps your human appearance even while hollow, which is appreciated. I hate looking like beef jerky. They say that in the undead crypt we can reacquaint ourselves with the dead. We all suffer loss, and none of us. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know, that's a little bit shitty of me to try and read that again. But either way, it's more or less just going on about accepting loss in the face of, well, everything that goes on throughout the feelings that brings. This elevator is loud. And that singing was a lot shorter than I remembered. Considering how long you have to fucking ride this elevator to get down. Yikes. Why even make it this long? Jesus Christ, that was almost comical. Ugh. Anywho, let's keep going. And welcome back to the Shaded Woods, everyone. Now, the important thing to unlock the next couple areas that I kind of zip through in and out is that you want to wear the King's Ring. That's the whole point of going down into Aldea's crypt. You pick up that ring, you slide it on one of your fingers. Oh, well, thank you. And you use that to go through and go for some areas that, again, were locked off to you before. There's one in the Forest of Fallen Giants, and then there's one here. Now, I already opened the one in the Forest of Fallen Giants off screen, but I can't do anything with it aside from picking up some items, so it was not worth recording that part. But we will go there, rest assured, because there are plot-required reasons to do so. That's why it's there to begin with. We just have to work our way there. That is all. Ooh, that reminds me. I need to get the old Iron King for more of the DLC later in the game. And I have not gotten around to doing that yet. God, I hate those big ogre assholes. Fucking Cyclopean fatzos. You always want to trick them into doing their little booty sit shockwave attack, because that just makes them so much more easier to kill. Bait them into doing it, and it'll take a little bit, but again, they'll be dead, and you will not. Thus, it is worth it. Long ambitions. Oh boy! Welcome to Aldea's Keep, home of the big head made out of flame. Also, bullshit! This is the equivalent of Sen's Fortress, the game says, but it's not even remotely as bullshit. If anything, the Shrine of Almana, that's the Sen's Fortress. But this game, it's supposed to be thematically the same as Sen's, but it is not. It is very much not, folks. And we'll cover that another time. Campfire song.